Hey everyone, welcome back. It is time for another state of wrestling. We wanted to get this state in before all the big happenings coming up in the next couple weeks with Mania weekend. There's about 700 shows we got to watch for this weekend.
It's like, can I say something though?
Mm.
It's not like it's overwhelming amount of shows, and we haven't had that a lot lately, so it's
Yeah,
gonna be like I said, overwhelming. But at the same time, it's kind of like with the supreme lack of stuff to watch lately, I'm kind of excited,
yeah.
especially
Um,
because wrestling's picking up again. Like the early part of this year was not very exciting.
no, and now it was all leading up to this because we got like 3,472 shows to watch over that weekend. We're going to review, I would say, most of them. But don't be surprised if some come a week or two later because it's just so much.
I think you're gonna get manias right away.
Yeah, that's
I
that's a
think
big
that's a
thing.
guarantee. And then I think TNA has a show.
Yeah, I think they have Under Siege that weekend as well.
And I
Um,
think everything else will be
so
the
here it is.
following
Like I'll
week.
give you the rundown right now, and this I may be even missing some. We have April 5th, we have Super Card of Honor. April 6th, we have, or April 4th, I should say, is the Stardom show. It comes to USA or American Dream. Then April 5th, we have Super Card of Honor. April 6th is three shows on that night, which is NXT Stand and Deliver. We have New Japan Sakura Genesis, and we have WrestleMania Night 1. And then April 7th is WrestleMania Night 2. And TNA doesn't have their show until April 20th, which is Rebellion.
Okay, good.
And New Japan doesn't have their show until April 12th, which is Windy City Riot.
Okay, so you're gonna get WrestleMania, New Japan on
For
that
sure.
first week, and then Ring of Honor, Stardom, and other
On the week
on the
following.
following week.
Yeah. So be prepared for that. There'll be a lot of wrestling content. But let us talk about the big news. Stardom. Hatman, Rossi Ogawa.
Hey, we know his name.
I've always known his name, but
Dustin, don't pretend like you knew his name. He's a Final Fantasy character. Um,
Sid
he's literally
Highwind.
like pedestrian and Final Fantasy.
He's an NPC.
Yeah. Hey, my hat! Help the man find his hat for 75
He's a,
zenny.
he's a fetch quest.
um, anyways,
So we know the reason why he left now.
yeah,
He put in his resignation, but Stardom decided to let him go earlier due to the fact that he was contract tampering. And the fact that he was contract tampering was the fact that he's starting a new promotion.
he was going to start a new promotion outside of the clutches of
New Japan.
New Japan and Cyber
Because
Attack
Stardom
or
is
whoever their
sold
own
to
son.
their sorry?
Keep going.
Yeah, Stardom is technically under the New Japan umbrella. They're all part of that Japan Sports.
And I think I kind of like it, but I also fear for the future of Stardom.
Yeah.
And
Joshi Wrestling in general.
I mean, but the thing about Joshi Wrestling is a lot of those other companies, when we look at it, right, like Ice Princess and
Joshi Pro.
Joshi Pro, it's they've survived so long with only having like three popular wrestlers on their
Yeah,
roster.
Joshi Pro really is Maki Ito.
Joshi Pro literally owns, sorry, my light. Joshi Pro literally owns like 14 female wrestlers. They
Yeah.
just do it in a way that makes you feel like, oh, there's so many wrestlers on this roster. There's Squirrel Girl and the other Squirrel Girl.
That was a good run, Amazing Squirrel Girl.
Yeah. But it was actually. You got me sidetracked.
Yeah.
Anyways, I just think that I mean, it could be good and bad. It could breed
Yeah.
competition. It could
But then
not.
again, some of the names he's poaching that are ready to leave are
Well,
big names.
for his superstar like attraction, he was taking Julia. So
Yeah.
we knew now Julia was never going to WWE
She was going
or
to.
AEW. She was going to his new promotion
Mhm.
where she would be the face of the promotion.
And if Julia goes, I don't see Tekla that far behind.
That's possible because the other member of their group was one of the people.
Yeah.
Um, we do know Hayashi Shida was going to
Mhm.
be the like secondary star, and then the rest of the roster was mostly going to be filled out by like the young up and
But
coming
another
talent that
name that
Stardom
he
was
was
having.
talking about was Mirai.
Yeah, yeah, Mirai, that's right, Mirai.
So
Uh,
those were the three he was going to build around.
yeah, that was
And
your ace, and then your two secondary stars, and then
Mhm.
he. But up the thing I saw today was that like an abundance of their like young lion talent,
Mhm.
all of their highest prospects were all leaving with him. So it would have
Yeah.
left Stardom in a position to have no young talent on the roster.
Like all the 17, all the 19 to 23-year-olds were going to
And
join his.
and that's why we've been seeing that girl that's like kind of a knockoff of Iwatani, I forget her
Hmm.
name, getting pushed so hard is because they were preparing for the worst and they're trying to get the people they're going to hold on to out there right now,
Yeah.
right? And because we also know that um
Is
who
that why
was
they maybe pulled a panic move and took the belt off of Julia?
it could be there's also the other wrestler, I can't remember her name. Was it Mina Shirai that's been making the rounds through
Mia
like
Sierra.
AEW and Ring of Honor?
Was it Mia? Mia Sierra? No. No, Shirai.
It was. And so
Yeah.
they're already like speculating that even if she doesn't go there, she's going to end up in one of the American promotions.
Yeah. Yeah. Mirai is, I think, who we were thinking of.
No, Mirai is the one that's
One of the ones leaving. Yeah.
is leaving. Mina Shirai is the other one, the other like big
Yeah.
star from the thing. Okay, so they were two different people. There you go.
Yeah.
I wasn't
You weren't
wrong.
going crazy.
And Mina Shirai is like a big
Yeah.
star for them.
And that's the thing, too. One of them right now is holding a belt in Haya Shishida.
Yeah. So
She's right
she's
now
the
the
tag
tag champ.
champion.
Yeah.
And the other girl is one of the trios champions. The Mirai is one of the trios champions.
Yes. Mirai is one of the trio champions with Shuri and Sohei.
Yeah, because she's from God's Eye.
Hmm.
Um, that's where she was from, not from Julia's old thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, that means Thekla's probably gonna walk. You lost Mariah May, you lost
Hmm.
um Megan Bain.
You lost Zaya Brookside because she was part of Bane's stable as well. Or not Bane's,
Yeah,
sorry. It was Mariah May and Zaya Brookside. Brookside, they were part of Cosmic Angels too.
yeah. And she's destined to become the face of the women's division in TNA. I can already tell that's what
Yeah,
they're planning.
Brookside for sure. They got
Um,
big plans for her. But I don't know what this means for wrestling.
this is actually like really, really, really huge news. They're about to do
Yeah.
their USA show next week or the week after,
It's
and
the weekend of the Mania, April 4th, I think it is.
they're gonna be battling against some big competition, especially in the states where women's wrestling is not as big as it is in Japan, and they're gonna be missing probably a lot of people.
Yeah. I mean, they're banking on Iwatani and Vakur. Vakur, it's in the state of Texas, so she's gonna draw.
And just to like add to this banking, the rumor has been, and I didn't know this since late last year, that Iwatani has been trying to get out of her contract she wants out of Stardom.
Hmm.
And the only
That's
reason
why they gave her the belt.
that's why they gave her the belt was to try and hold on to her.
Yeah. Because she's
Um,
had it for a year now.
and she's only wrestled like 4 times.
She's pulling a Roman Reigns.
So we'll see how this all goes.
Yeah.
I don't think we should stay on Stardom for too long,
No,
but
but I mean, it is big news, and that's
I think
something
that's
we
like the
definitely.
biggest news right now. I'm going to be honest.
Yeah.
Now that we know where mostly everyone's signed, the biggest free agent
Yeah.
was Julia, and so like this is huge news.
Yeah. So Julius pretty much staying in Japan. So we'll move on from there. We'll talk about some WWE news right now. Usually we start off with WWE, but this news was too big to not talk about it. WWE programming has been half decent lately, but before going to their programming, let's talk about the big news that was announced. They announced two more names on the on that case, the harassment case against Vince McMahon, and they're big names. One of them being the EVP of WWE, Nick Khan.
Yeah, Tony Khan's brother.
Yeah. Did you see that clip of him on Jeopardy?
No.
I gotta show you that. Yeah, yeah.
Is it like name someone in a business who essayed some women? And he's like, oh, Vince McMahon.
Vince McMahon. How do you know? Because I was there.
Um,
But yeah,
who
Nick
is
Khan.
Vince McMahon? Wait, did you say Wheel of Fortune or
No, Wheel of
Jeopardy?
Fortune was the other guy, Zach Brown, from the president of McLaren.
Oh
He was
yeah,
over.
that's good. Anyways, yeah, I we're gonna see it. It's gonna
Yeah.
happen. Stephanie
So
McMahon has been implicated now
yes,
as well.
her name's been implicated. The other name is one of the big names behind the scenes, which was Brian Bloom, I believe is his name.
Yeah, which guarantees us
That Triple H had
that
to have known
Triple H
some.
and Shawn Michaels are coming out. Because if it's a
Yeah.
behind the scenes guy, Shawn Michaels was a behind the scenes guy for a very long time, training and stuff.
Hmm.
So he's going to come out for sure. Shawn Michaels is part of it. Like I know
Yeah.
he's a born again Christian, but like he was a piece of s.
Garbage. Yeah.
So there's no way. Like there's probably a better chance that Triple H has nothing to do with this than Shawn Michaels.
If Triple H comes out of this clean, that could be a good thing for wrestling because he's really, really turned the ship around in WWE.
I'm gonna agree with you, but I also think that I everyone should go down.
Yeah, it's if you are involved, don't get me wrong. If you're involved, you need to go. And if Triple H was involved, he's got to go.
100%. So like
He's got to go.
I think it's fair we have like a good agreement on that.
Yeah,
Um,
absolutely. I absolutely agree with that. But
but the
I'm just
product
saying,
has
in the
gotten
off
better.
chance, yeah, it totally has. And they're loosening their big news is they're loosening their grip on outside of their talent going outside because they
Which
just announced Shayna Baszler is going to be at a GCW show.
fighting Masha Slamovich,
Ovich.
which is like that's for us, that's wicked news. Because you
Yeah.
know what, Shayna Baszler's underrated.
She's not being used right now in WWE
No,
to her full potential.
she's also always been better than Ronda Rousey.
Hmm.
Which
Who
by the way, Ronda
she
Rousey
shot
just came out,
hard. Yeah. She shot hard on Vince in the
but that's
WWE.
good
Yeah.
because people need to know
What
what
really goes
we've
on?
been talking about. Like WWE fans sometimes are just have
Oblivious
like
to the fact
they
that
have
what goes on.
firewalls on and
Yeah.
blocks out everything. But like the wrestlers weren't happy.
She said
They're
it's a shit
being
show
poorly
backstage.
treated. The booking is like favoritism. The people that you're being told to like are not the people you're supposed to like.
Yeah.
It's just we're picking and choosing, which is fine. It is what it
But
is. We're not
to be
gonna.
fair, that's what she said more about Vince. She still said she won't go back because of
Mhm.
everything that's happened. But with Vince, she goes, it was an absolute
She
shit
doesn't
show.
have to come back.
No, we don't need her back
That
anyway.
second run was awful.
Yeah.
Digressing from the point.
Yeah. But yeah,
I
the programming has gotten better.
the matches are still up in the air. Like you get one good match per TV show.
Do you think The
there's
Rock coming back has helped?
it helped in a sense. It's made them bigger than life, right? Like they're larger than life at this point. The problem I do have, then I'll tell you this. It's gonna take me like at least 2.5 minutes. So start a
Go for it.
timer, Timmy. Um, I think the promos are really good right now. I don't think the storyline is as strong as the promos are, but I'm gonna say it's fine. It's fine,
Yeah.
right? We're focused too much on one storyline and nothing else right now really matters. Nobody cares what Drew McIntyre's doing. Nobody cares
Nope.
what Gunther's doing, and they should because those storylines are weak. And this is overshadowing everything. So it's a positive and a negative. For me, the biggest negative is I am turning on a 2 hour episode of SmackDown, which with commercials is an hour and a half, let's say.
Yeah. With about
20
20 minutes
minutes of that
is
is a
wrestling.
promo, and 10 minutes of that promo is just Roman Reigns and then The Rock coming out.
You get, if you're lucky, without commercial breaks, it's an hour and a half. You're lucky if you get 15 to 20 minutes total wrestling on SmackDown.
Which is insane to me. And then you're watching Raw, and it's like, yeah, we have 3 hours and you're getting more matches, but one of like the 8 matches is good.
Yeah. And the other match, you're going to get a 10-minute match, which 5 minutes of it you're going to miss on commercials.
And it's like I hate the goddamn picture in picture on AEW, but like I appreciate it now. But I don't watch WWE weekly TV. Since The
No.
Rock has been back, I have been watching. So credit to
At
them
least,
for
yeah,
getting
at
me
least
to
with
like
SmackDown,
pay
yeah.
attention. But it's like it's not the same. It's even
No.
TNA just as a wrestling product, not as a storyline based thing, is so much more
Oh,
entertaining to
in
watch
ring work,
weekly.
yeah. Their booking is
It's
something
questionable, which we'll get to.
which we'll get to it when we talk about TNA. But yeah, I mean, since we're on WWE topic right now, you want to quickly run down the WrestleMania card
Go.
with the matches that have been announced. We'll make some predictions on that too. So guaranteed night one, we're getting the Bloodline, The Rock and Roman Reigns against Cody and Seth.
I
Guaranteed on
think
night one.
Roman Reigns and The Rock win.
So this way, if The Rock and Reigns win, it will be held under Bloodline rules.
I think you have to put the
The bloodline in the match.
Okay, number one, the bloodline. Cody Rhodes needs to have pressure put on him, and by doing that,
This is
they
where you
put the
make your
pressure.
Tamatonga debut.
Yeah, I think so too. Because now in night two, you have we can bring up the bloodline. Guess who else in the bloodline? Tom Tonga.
No, I think Cody Rhodes says, I'm going to call in a favor from a friend of mine in Japan.
But then does he turn on him and Roman
No,
Reigns continues to win?
I think you want to bring in someone like a Tamatonga as a babyface.
Okay, I'll take it. That's fine.
And then eventually turn him heel, and there's your natural feud with Cody.
Great Bash heel. I do think that having Roman Reigns lose back-to-back nights seems silly.
Yeah. So night 2, guaranteed match right now, what we have is Seth Rollins versus Drew for the belt and Roman Reigns versus Cody for the undisputed. Cody's winning. He's finishing the story, I think.
Cody's finishing the story and Drew is winning.
Yeah. Drew is winning and he's losing.
Yeah.
At the same time.
Punk.
Because I think CM Punk. No, I think night one, they lose the belts Judgment Day, and Sting's going to come in night 2 and cash in.
Okay. Wait, we go through the matches. So don't double speculate.
So this is now matches that have been announced but don't have a specific date for yet. We have Io Sky versus Bayley. I think Bayley's winning.
Bayley wins.
Rhea Ripley versus Becky. Rhea's winning. I think
wins.
Rhea needs to retain. Gunther versus Sami Zayn. I think Sami's winning.
I think Gunther wins because there's nowhere for him to go if he loses. Okay, and I think there's a rematch once there's an idea of where he can go.
Sami maybe loses here, then rematch at Money in the Bank here in Toronto, and he wins there.
And I think that makes way more sense. Let's be honest.
Okay.
Let's be honest.
So now we have LA Knight versus AJ Styles versus that's just a random match.
AJ Styles versus LA Knight.
Mm-hmm. LA Knight's winning.
LA Knight gets put over.
Yeah. Brother versus brother, only the third time in WrestleMania history. WrestleMania 10, WrestleMania 25, and WrestleMania 40. So 15 years apart.
Undertaker versus Kane.
Right.
Matt Hardy versus Jeff Hardy.
Not at Mania, though.
Who was the other brothers?
And that's not real brothers. It was...
so Matt Hardy versus Jeff Hardy has to be one of them.
Edge and Brett versus Owen.
Oh, Brett versus Owen. Duh.
Brett versus Owen. I don't know if the Hardys was WrestleMania 25, though. But Timmy's looking that up right now. And then we also have a 4 corners match. Or not a 4 corners match. What is it? They call it the 6-pack challenge. For
X-Pac?
the Xbox. Yeah, Xbox challenge. Brother versus brother that was WrestleMania 25. That was Matt versus Jeff. Thank you, Timmy, for looking that up for us.
I'm starting to think Timmy's you.
No.
Okay, I'm just
Timmy's real. Timmy's real. The cat's not real, but Timmy's real.
The cat's not real, but Timmy's real.
Yeah. So we have the Judgment Day, Damian Priest and Finn Balor against DIY versus the Awesome Truth versus the New Day versus 2 more teams that are yet to be announced in it'll either be Legado del Fantasma, New Catch Republic, A-Town Down Under, or the Street Profits.
If the Street Profits are in it, A-Town down versus...
So right now, the last 2 matches are Legado del Fantasma against New Catch Republic, which I think New Catch Republic are winning.
Going to win. Yeah.
Okay. And they're going to go on. And the other one, Street Profits versus A-Town Down Under. I think Street Profits are winning that, and they're going to go because they got it. You got to put the Street Profits at Mania.
So it's probably the Street Profits are going to win this. I think this is their time.
This is their time to win the tag belts. I could see that. Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa, they're going to come close, and I have the feeling that the Street Profits will win, or we may get a double finish and split the belts.
That could be good. That would be nice. And if you don't do that, I think you have DIY go into a feud with whoever wins, and then have the belt split that way.
Wouldn't it be awesome if like Gargano pins like Dawkins, and then Ciampa gets pinned by like Montez Ford.
Yeah, do that.
And this way you split the belts.
I don't care anymore. I want that.
Yeah.
This is what I want.
Yeah. So at least this way you can split the belt. At least that's my prediction and what I want to see. And the other match we have on tap is a match I don't care about. is Logan Paul versus Randy Orton versus Kevin Owens. This should have been this should have been LA Knight's match.
This is a doo-doo match.
Yeah.
I want to see. I don't want to see Chubbs McGinty and Old Man River fight Logan Paul. I want AJ Styles and LA Knight versus Logan Paul or something like
This
that.
way, at least you could put LA Knight and put some shine and put some gold on it. Because if they don't strike right now, like I already feel LA Knight's lost some momentum.
Yeah, let's be honest here. I'm not a big Randy Orton guy to begin with, so take everything I say with a grain of salt. However, Randy Orton nowadays is just a guy in a ring standing around waiting for his time to do the finisher. Like that's his
Yeah.
whole thing.
It's like that episode of The Simpsons. Say the line, say the line, say the line, Bart. Yeah. But yeah, Randy Orton has just become a meme of himself, basically. But
Yeah.
What are you gonna do? WWE, I think that's really all we have. Could we be seeing? We'll talk about this too, since this is kind of related. Kevin Kelly has been taken off, and we'll segue into AEW with this. Kevin Kelly was taken off the roster in AEW. Apparently, he's been fired. Is this the right opportunity to bring him back to WWE?
WWE's apparently already in the plans of making changes to their announce team.
Already again? Please don't tell me they want Pat McAfee back.
I don't know if it's Pat McAfee, but they're in talks that someone's coming in.
Okay. And it's not.
I mean, whatever. Let Kevin Kelly. I want Kevin Kelly to go back to New Japan. I absolutely miss Kevin Kelly and Chris Charlton so much that you have no idea.
Even though Rick Foni's been improving.
But have the three of them.
Yes, as a three-man booth. I don't mind that at all. Speaking of announce teams, we almost forgot to talk about it. Apparently, Booker T came out and said that shoot promo he said was fake on CM Punk. CM Punk never did any of what he said.
And now we've been told by multiple sources that we should not trust any story that Booker T has ever said as being
because he's just trying to put himself over.
Yeah.
But why would he do something like that?
Because he said it himself. He's like living in a kayfabe like universe. Like he can't, his head is never leaving the kayfabe world. So he thinks he's always having to do storyline.
Right. But you've been retired how long now? You're not coming back for another match.
Yeah, but how many concussions has he maybe had? And this could be one of the side effects of that for real. Like I'm not being sarcastic.
Don't try to set up a match that's never going to happen. He's just trying to put himself over, I think.
Yeah, he's trying to put himself over because he's stuck in a kayfabe world where he thinks he needs to put himself over.
Yeah.
I see that, my daughter.
I think he's just upset at the fact that CM Punk may be taking over for him on announce team while.
Listen, you know what? I will take CM Punk over
Booker T.
Psycho concussion Bill Cosby any day of the week.
You see my pudding pops.
You see that girl Roxanne? I put some stuff in a drink.
Oh, why does it always
my daughter? Anyways,
but why does it always lead back to that? But yeah, with that, we'll talk about little AEW. What a fantastic event that they put on with Revolution, Sting's retirement. That's
since
how you
Revolution. Prior to Revolution, there was two really good Dynamites. Since Revolution, every single Dynamite has been a banger.
Yeah, like the one they just had here this past week in Toronto.
I have to watch the Rampage match, the women's hardcore match, because I heard it was really good. I haven't watched it yet. Supposedly it's really good. I'll be honest with you though, I haven't watched the Rampage since last summer, and I haven't watched any of the last 10 collisions.
Yeah, there's no interest other than the main show. I really don't care about like AEW right now.
Why would I watch anything except Dynamite? It's like I don't need any storylines. I don't need anything. I get 5 banger fucking matches every single week. Like I'm watching a pay-per-view.
And there's your difference between WWE and AEW. At least AEW gives you the goods.
There's nobody that does it like that. Zero.
Yeah.
Because you can't. New Japan doesn't really have a weekly show. So it's like I'm not counting them, right?
No.
And Noah doesn't have a weekly show. Yeah, they go 1,000% in their matches, but because of that, it's like that is what it is. But like Edge versus Christian was so good.
And this was the perfect opportunity to put Edge over. He's already a 2-time champion now.
The only thing that matters is that Okada won,
Yes,
in my eyes.
Okada is your new Continental Champion. So the breakdown of Eddie Kingston is starting to happen here. We are finally over the Eddie Kingston. Now, I was watching other news sources because, obviously we're not the only one, and we do get inspiration from other channels. And other channels are so upset at the fact that Eddie Kingston is losing, that he's going to be, oh, he's just going to be stuck in ROH now. Why? I'm
Listen,
tired of Eddie Kingston.
I'll give you a second to point at someone in your room right now. Okay, we'll both do this. Someone who's sitting in your room right now who
Mhm.
doesn't want to see Okada win more championships. Okay. But this is a
Maybe
moment
Kermit.
where I was like, thank God we have Okada in AEW who cannot lose for
Yeah.
a championship because Eddie Kingston needs to lose. And
Yeah.
I said this. I talked to the guy, one of the big booth runners at Comic Con,
Hmm.
and his initial like reaction was he's a huge Eddie Kingston fan, but he gets what I was saying. He
Yeah.
had his schlub run and it's over now. You got your little
Yeah.
like peak of your career and now it needs to end because you can't go any further than this.
Yeah.
Eddie Kingston's hit the ceiling and that's it. It's time for him to now he needs to put people over.
Yeah, exactly. You've had your fun. We let you play with your little toys for a little bit. Now it's time to pack them up and go home.
And he was right though, because Okada was the first domino to fall. When we see his match at Ring of Honor, which we'll get
Which
to
we'll talk
that,
about
he's
later. Yeah.
probably losing that. And then, like, I can only imagine at Resurgence, he's gonna lose
The
the
strong
strong
title
belt.
to someone big. Someone has to be. Unless we'll
We'll
talk about
get
that
there.
one. We'll get there when we get there. So AEW also has a pay-per-view coming up. I believe it's on April the 21st. They're calling it Dynasty. It's a brand new pay-per-view for them, which is good. They're at 9 now, and I think 9 is the perfect number.
Yeah,
You
I don't
don't
want any
need
more than that.
No, we don't need any more. You don't have to do one a month. Only one match, two matches have been announced, but one match we know the participants. We're getting Osprey versus Bryan Danielson.
Why do we watch other wrestling companies?
That's really going to be unless Bryan is hurt, that's a match of the year candidate already.
And if they've learned anything from 2022 and I guess early 2023, don't book your guys for pay-per-views and then have them have to do crazy matches during the time before it.
Yeah, keep him safe, protect him.
Yeah,
Have
go
Danielson,
WWE mode where it's just I'm gonna cut 75 promos until
and we
we get
know
there.
Danielson can cut an awesome promo, and so can
Listen,
Osprey.
all I know is Osprey came out and it was bruv, bruv, bruv. And they
Yeah,
called it. Toronto is Bizarro World.
Bizarro World.
I was watching multiple things. I told you this.
Mm-hmm.
Multiple channels where they were talking about it, and then it happened. I was watching the WrestleMania 18 review by Brian Zane, and he mentioned it again, and I was like, oh my god! I'm like, so like if he's saying it, then it must be a thing.
It is a thing.
Where it's like in the UK and Australia and Canada, you can't predict what the fans are going to do, and
No.
WWE, like of most companies, hates that because they're trying to push someone on you, and then the fan
To the point
fans
where
go a
Osprey
different way.
apologized for what he did last year with the flag.
Yeah.
He goes, I did, that was not smart of me. That was not, because we understand Canada loves Osprey loves Canada and Canada loves Osprey. And like he just turned himself into a huge baby face here. So even if he's going to be a heel in AEW, he'll always be a baby face here now.
And then that's in Canada, if you're a really good wrestler, you're a baby face. It doesn't matter if you're a heel or the face or whatever.
I think it stems back to when Bret Hart was the heel in the US, but he'd come to Canada as a hero.
Yeah, and that's what it is. And it's like Edge said that on his interview on TSN. He was like, it doesn't matter if I'm the face or the heel. It doesn't matter if I'm in Moncton or in British Columbia. He's like, I'm home. Everyone, it's like homecoming no matter where we land in Canada.
Just because I'm from Toronto, all of Canada is my home.
And he's like, it's different than other wrestlers, right? Because in the other wrestlers, it's like you have a home city or a home state. He's like, Canadian wrestlers, anytime they're in Canada, they're home.
Yeah.
The one wrestler I'll give it to him that no matter what, he gets cheered is Roman Reigns. He in all the shows I've been to, the Roman Reigns never gets booed.
But then again, looking at through WWE blinders, right?
But at the same time, it's like it is what it is. And since we're on AEW, I want to talk about Mercedes Monet,
Monet.
who she says her name different than we say it, and also other
She
people
calls
are
it Monet.
she calls it Monet, and everyone else is saying Monet, and then people are calling it Money as well, Mercedes Money. So it's like there's three different
Yeah.
versions of this name, and I don't care
We'll go
anymore. I'm
by
just
what
gonna
she calls herself, and it's Monet.
I'm just gonna
Like
go Tony
money.
Schiavone.
Yeah.
All right, like as Tony Storm would call him, Tony Schiavone, Mr. Schiavone.
Yeah, Vaughn, they used to call him, remember, in WCW.
Yeah, yeah, but
But
I I don't like what they've done with her entrance. There's three different sounds. There's like an
yeah,
intro noise, and then there's the CEO thing that has a different beat, and then it changes into another song. Why
yeah.
does it have three
She should
steps?
have just kept the New Japan theme.
I agree. I don't hate the theme. It's just I don't like that it has three steps to it. I
Yeah.
also don't like that they pump sound through with the CEO to get people to
To get
start
people
chanting
hyped. Yeah.
CEO.
Yeah.
And
When
why
she
are we
debuted,
forcing the CEO
that's a
chant on her?
WWE thing. Don't let it come natural like what they did with Bruv when Osprey comes out. Let it come
Do you know what
naturally.
I mean? Like I,
Yeah.
I I was like, oh, okay, but I don't care.
Yeah.
She's gotten better at cutting a promo. I don't like her as a face.
Her time in New Japan kind of helped her in-ring work a little bit too.
Yeah, she's a
She
fine wrestler.
she's like I still think out of the I saw the meme the other day. It was the Simpsons. And remember that Simpsons where it's like, I hope you like the Doobie Brothers because we got one of them. And it's Tony Khan. He's like, I hope you like the Four Horsewomen because we got one of them.
Yeah, she got the
But
horse one.
right. But can I borrow a feeling, right?
Can I borrow a feeling? Oh my God.
Can you lend me a jar of love?
Listen, Barney was the best singer in the group.
Yes. But where we're going with this. So Monet, whatever you want to call her, she made her debut. But you're right, then it doesn't come naturally. And if it's not natural, it feels forced. And when it feels forced, you don't want to cheer them. Let
No, and
let
it's
it
like
come organically.
yeah, okay, she's smoking hot. So it's like I don't not want to see her in the
Right.
most puttiest way possible. Shout out to Putty.
Shout out to Putty.
But like it's and she did get better at talking, but I
Yeah.
want the heel. I don't want face.
She works good as that cocky, arrogant, like,
That all her best work is as a heel.
yeah. She doesn't work as a face. Yeah.
And
I agree.
In Japan, she was basically a heel.
Yeah. She was that gaijin wrestler that thought she was better than everybody.
Anyways, yeah, that's fine. We got announcements.
Yeah.
Okada's here. Matt Banks is here. It's fine. Let's just
Yeah.
get some good matches going.
Yeah.
What
And
do you
then
do with Thunder Rosa now? Like,
she's stuck in limbo now.
there's so much. They have so much going on.
Yeah. But the tournament for the tag team, which the finals is going to be at Dynasty, right now the quarterfinals are set. We have the Young Bucks against Private Party, Undisputed Kingdom against the Best Friends, the Infantry, which is Charlie Bravo and Captain Sean Dean against FTR. I wonder who's going to win that
Wait,
match.
hold on. What are you even reviewing? Dynasty?
Well, this is the bracket to who's going to win.
Oh, for the tag thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then we have Top Flight against Ricky Starks and Big Bill. I have a
FTR
feeling
is going to win the tournament.
the whole thing.
Yeah.
It's going to be
Yeah,
Young Bucks and FTR in the finals.
Yeah, Young Bucks and FTR.
Yeah. I have a feeling FTR and Ricky Starks and Big Bill will meet in the semis, and it's going to be the Young Bucks and I would say the Best Friends. I think the Best Friends are going to beat the
That's fair. You know what?
because
I
this
think
way it sets up a feud with the Best Friends and the Undisputed Kingdom for the ROH belts.
that's smart. I'll take that. And then let them finally win. Let Trent Beretta finally win a freaking belt.
He deserves it. You know who else deserves a belt? Bryan Danielson. Give him a damn belt.
Give him a damn belt.
Unless they're going to do Danielson versus Eddie Kingston at Strong and give him that belt.
Maybe. Who knows? We'll see. We'll see how this all plays out. But I think that FTR versus Young Bucks, whoever wins it, maybe the Bucks are going to win, and then it will lead to a match against FTR.
Yeah.
But I think definitely at some point within the next calendar year, the Young Bucks will be champions again.
Yeah.
You need to have them with 3 belts. That their stable needs to have the tag belts and the global belt.
Yeah.
Like to make them like a powerful heel group, they need that.
Yeah. So with that, we'll move. Well, since we're in the AEW topic, we'll talk about a little bit of Ring of Honor, and we are talking about Eddie Kingston earlier. Eddie Kingston is facing Mark Briscoe for the ROH World Championship.
Which we know it has a storyline that they've been waiting to do forever. Mark Briscoe is going to win the belt.
That's absolutely it.
There's going to be a whole roster walkout. It's going to be Jay Briscoe on the screen.
Yeah, they're
Reach
gonna
for the
bring probably
sky.
some. They're probably gonna bring Colt Cabana out because he's an alum.
Yeah, for
But
sure.
they're also we're getting the ROH World Women's Championship, Athena versus Sheeta.
Fucking banger. What a
That's gonna
fucking
be
banger.
insane. Sheeta's
Uh,
winning this.
I
Sheeta's
think
winning
so.
this.
I think so. And you turned her heel too, so I like
Yeah.
that whole
I,
thing.
I like Sheeta as a heel. This works really, really well. You can move now. You
This
can
is
move
like
Athena to the main roster.
you can and you can move. I think you move people over. I think maybe Deonna Purrazzo or like one or two of the women, you move them
Hmm.
over, maybe Thunder Rosa, to make Ring of
That
Honor have still a strong women's division, because this is a smart move of finding somewhere to put people. And also it's just you're padding Sheeta's stats big time,
yeah,
which the AEW seems to like to do. So
which is good. And we're also getting the tournament finals of the inaugural ROH Women Television
we're
Championship,
getting
and
it.
our girl is in the
It's gonna
finals.
happen. Listen, we have
Billy
a few
Starks is
favorites
getting her.
on this show. Ninja Mac,
Hmm.
Billy Starks.
Yeah.
So, let's keep it rolling
Let's
here.
keep it rolling. I really hope for big things. This is also a good way because there was talks Billy Starks was leaving for NXT. I think by her winning this tournament, you solidify her in the ROH. Have her have a if she can have a good run with this belt, then you eventually move her on into the ROH
Yeah.
Women's
You
Championship.
have her do
She is the future of your women's
build a
division right now.
storyline maybe where she avenges Athena at some point. Like a
Hmm.
long-term story. So
Yeah.
she loses the television title at some point at the end of the year by shenanigans and
And then
then
have her
goes
win
on
the
to a
main
feud.
belt at like Death
Yeah.
Before Dishonor
Yeah,
in
like which is
December.
December.
Yeah, I think so. And I'm so happy for our girl, Billy Starks. She is one of the best young female talents out there right now. Here on this channel, like you said, we have our favorites, Ninja Mac, Billy Starks.
We don't need to name them all, okay?
No, but I mean, our boy, Ninja Mac, which we got to review a Noah. I got to see if there's a Noah show coming up too that weekend too, because there probably will be.
Yeah.
But those are your three matches announced right now for the ROH show, Supercard of Honor. So with that, let us move to TNA. We won't talk much about, before we get out of AEW news, a little quick thing I wanted to bring up. Lana and Rusev have announced they're separating, which
Good.
was good. Like, I mean, I don't know. Like, I don't understand. I never understood them as a couple. Like, I never thought they worked. They had a really good run in WWE for a little bit when they were heels, but I never really cared for Lana. I never really like she has no character. She has no charisma. She has no when
She
she
has
was
no wrestling value except that she's good looking.
right, like when she first started in NXT with Rusev, and all her thing was like that strict Russian woman, and she would do Rusev clash, Rusev, like that worked for her. Then one day she lost the accent, and nobody explained how she lost the accent, and now all of a sudden she's
Listen, there's a big difference for me
just
when
like
it
when
comes
Kofi
to
Kingston was Jamaican.
exactly. Don't you have a Jamaican accent?
Well, that
Anyways,
was a long time ago.
the there's a good comparison like right in your own company. Watch what what's her name? Maria Bennett's fucking wife.
Oh, Maria Kanellis,
Maria Kanellis, the way that she handles a team and handles herself and talks like a scummy fucking, you know,
dirtbag.
dirtbag. Like that's how you heal, or not even heal. That's how
Even
you
even let's
manage
talk
her
about
up.
Alicia Edwards.
But and right and like she's getting the crowd going. Lana just exists.
Yeah, she she's a heel, but doesn't want to be a heel because she wants the crowd to love. She's the type of person in real life, non-kayfabe, as a work, she loves the attention. So she doesn't want to be the heel because she won't get the attention that she wants. She wants the attention where look at me, everybody love me, I'm beautiful. Look at like you know what I mean? And her as a heel, that won't work. So she doesn't want to be even though she's supposed to be the heel in the situation, she doesn't want to be that heel because she wants the crowd to love her.
Yeah, I think you're looking at another reason for AEW to just walk Miro out the door. They're done with
Yeah.
him. I don't think Tony Khan is too obsessive about shit.
Yeah.
Um, and I think that's a problem. because it's like the CM Punk thing. It was time to let CM Punk go. You being mad at Jack Perry still because CM Punk got fired is like insane to me.
Yeah.
It was time for you to get rid of him,
And look
just
how
like
well
it's time
Jack
for you to
Perry is doing in Japan. He's
yeah,
only had a few matches and he's already so over.
it's time to get rid of Miro. He's a
Yeah.
problem, and it's time for
Miro
him to
can
go.
go. I can see Miro working in a TNA. Some not like as a mid-card guy there to just put people over and leave him there.
He's gonna end up somewhere right away.
Yeah, he'll either go there or end up back in NXT.
Just just do something with him.
Yeah, kind of like what they're doing with Baron Corbin, right? Put him back in NXT, have him have his little run there, and that's it.
Do they have pair him up with Ilya Dragunov and then have them face
The
Braun
Russian Hit Squad.
Breaker?
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
That's what
But
they pay me for.
that's what they. We don't pay you. I just asked Timmy.
Oh, the Soviet Union. That's what we'll call them.
The Red Army,
Yeah, we'll call them the Red Army.
right?
Red Suns.
Red Suns. There you go. I got back into Marvel Midnight Suns. What a great game that is.
I should buy it. I heard it's going to be free.
Yeah, I think they're gonna give it free on the PSN soon. But well worth it. Well worth it. Even if you can pick it up for like 20, $30, do it. So good. One of my game of the year last year. But
Really?
yeah.
This is a game that you and Putty at the beginning were like, I don't know.
No, I was always for it. Putty was never sure about it. He just wanted to play as Deadpool, remember?
Oh, yeah, that's right. Fuck Deadpool.
Yeah.
Anyways.
But you know me, I love strategy games. I've always loved like games like XCOM.
Yeah, yeah.
So if you like XCOM, it's XCOM with Marvel characters.
Okay. I
There
like
you go.
Fire Emblem, so.
Fire Emblem is really good. Yeah, yeah. Man, I miss Fire Emblem. I still have my original PS3 copy of Fire Emblem. PS1 copy, I should say.
That's crazy.
And Breath of Fire 3.
That's
But
fucking crazy.
let's move to TNA and a little less of the video game. Even though this channel originally started as a gaming channel.
Yeah, there's still stuff there. You can
We still
find
do.
it.
Yeah, you still find it. Go back.
I think we
archives.
maxed out we hit our ceiling of video game content.
Yeah. We found our niche though with the wrestling content. But let us move to TNA. TNA, there's not really much to talk about right now. Their shows have been good. You could tell that Scott D'Amore is missing from the show because the booking decisions have been absolutely horrendous. The matches have been good, but the booking has been bad.
What do you do here? What do you do? Because Moose can't lose to Nick Nemeth yet,
No.
but nobody wants Moose is not selling any tickets.
Yeah. And neither is the system.
Yeah, well, of course not, but they need to exist, which is fine.
Because they're both on the booking team.
The Machine Guns are apparently going to walk right after Rebellion.
I could see them showing up in like WWE.
New Japan. No, shut up. New Japan. They're going to New Japan.
Yeah, do one last run in Japan.
I think if I'm Tanahashi, sweet babies, I'm offering you whatever the fuck you want on like
finish
a
off your
3-year
careers
deal.
here. Yeah.
Just come here and win.
We'll give you a couple junior heavyweight runs, win the heavyweight belts that you haven't won yet.
I'll give you a win with the heavyweight belts and let you go on a year-long run.
Yeah.
Then I'll have you lose them for one pay-per-view and then win them right back again.
To solidify as
yeah, because their tag divisions are dog shit.
Yeah, that's true.
Imagine Machine Guns and Noah.
Oh, against the GLG.
Yeah, just do it. Just shut up and do it. Shut up and dance.
Shut up and dance. Motor City Machine Guns versus Ninja Mac and Alejandro.
You got tigers, wings, flames. It's like the Chinese symbol for shut the fuck up and dance.
But other than that, there's a couple other names that are looking to walk. Apparently, ABC's
Josh Alexander wants to walk.
He wants to walk. So Josh Alexander, what happened with him was his contract was supposed to be up. But because he spent a year injured, they tacked on that year because he had that optional year. They just tacked it on without even asking him.
Yeah, which that's fine. He's a Canadian, so he's going to do what he's expected.
Yeah.
I think that you're going to see Gresham and...
Yeah, I forgot that he's even on the roster.
I think you're going to see Gresham and what's her name leave?
Jordan Grace.
They're
both the reaction she got in the Rumble, I could see Jordan Grace having a WWE run.
Yeah, they'll both show up in NXT. He'll win like the North American title and she'll win the women's title.
I could see her having a match against Ripley.
Yeah.
If they can book her good enough.
I don't know how long she has left though.
Grace is still pretty young.
I mean, no, I mean contract wise. I know Gresham's contract either just expired or it expires very shortly.
I think it's July. But Timmy will look on that after, but
No, it's not important.
that's not important. Yeah, other than that, I don't really got much on TNA other than the booking decision hasn't been there, but the
TNA better
matches.
start pushing your Bupinders because guess what, buddies? You're
Yeah,
gonna lose all your main stars and you have nothing in the pipeline.
yeah. The next 12 months are going to be crucial for TNA. Crucial.
I'm predicting now that unless they do something insane, MLW is going to start sucking up people from them and GCW, and you're going to see GCW and MLW rise to the
Overtake
same
TNA.
level as TNA.
Yeah, I could see, especially GCW now that they're promoting, like we talked about earlier, Shayna Baszler versus Masha Slamovich. Like
And MLW already has good wrestlers, so it
they
won't
got
take much
Riddle
for them to push
now.
them over the edge.
Yeah. But we'll move to Japan. We'll move to Japan. Noah's been kind of quiet, but New Japan just ended their New Japan Cup tournament. Fantastic tournament. Go watch the episode from a few days ago where we break it down for you. We talk about some of our favorite matches and what we thought about the tournament. But we'll talk about the winner, Yota Tsuji. Great, great decision in putting Yota Tsuji over.
I think it is in a way because it's like we want him to win, but I don't know if this was what they wanted to do. I think the David Finlay thing pushed it
Yeah.
to this. But
Yeah.
then
David
again,
Finlay
David
did get
Finlay winning,
injured.
what do you do with that?
Yeah, with David Finlay winning, unless you pull the trigger with David Finlay, he put out a promo on Instagram the other day where he wants a Nemeth rematch. He wants his belt back. But unfortunately, I feel Nemeth is going to lose the belt to Tanahashi before that's going to happen
Scary stuff.
because Tanahashi's like, "Oh, I don't have that one yet. I need it." Like Tanahashi's collecting belts as if they were Pokemon.
Yeah. Fucking Tanahashi, man. I don't even want to
Like
talk about it. It just makes me upset.
Yeah, but see, that's the thing with Tanahashi. Some of his decisions are good, like him giving up the TV belt to Matt Riddle. Good decision. But did
It's
you only
never a
give up that
question.
belt just to win the other one?
It's not a question of him winning the belts to not put people over. I know he'll do that. It's him ending people's reigns just so he can say, I won the belt for 10 minutes. So it shows on his Wikipedia. It's a
Hmm.
Wikipedia win. And then put somebody over. I never question him putting someone over. I question
He'll always, yeah.
his need
Because
to make himself the best.
he wants to solidify. He wants to be the face of Japanese wrestling. He wants to be bigger than Inoki, basically.
And he never will be
No.
because his chin is not nearly big enough. That's a big chin shoes to fill.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. But I mean, Inoki is a legend. Unless you start a brand new company and spend the next 50 years building it to where it is, you'll
Let's
never
talk
be
about Japanese wrestling just generally, okay?
okay.
In from a scope of importance level, I don't think anyone will ever be as important as Giant
Inoki,
Baba or
Antonio
Antonio
Inoki.
Inoki. All right, strong name too. He
Mhm.
must be half Italian. Um, but it's like, and then if you go to like the four pillar days with like
Mhm.
Masawa and
Chono
Koba,
and
yeah, and Kobashi
Jin.
and like all those guys, and then even Tanahashi falls in a time when wrestling was so bleak in Japan that yeah, he
Mhm.
became the face, and like I'm not taking away from him. This sounds like I'm
And
taking
he's
away from him.
charismatic. He is Japan's version of John Cena. He's a good wrestler. He's charismatic as hell.
Yeah,
But
but he came at a time when there also was two other guys just as popular as him,
mhm.
right? You had
Naito,
no, not yet. You had
Naito's
Shibata, and
mhm.
then you had New Japan guy Nakamura or the WWE guy Nakamura.
Nakamura.
And they were also the faces of the company. I would arguably say towards the end before he left, Nakamura was far more popular than
Oh, he
Tanahashi
was
was.
he was main eventing Wrestle Kingdom on the Intercontinental belt when Tanahashi was lower down the card.
Yeah, and I
Like
understand that he's the ace
Wrestle
and he
Kingdom 10,
saved.
like still one of my favorite matches
Yeah,
of all time. AJ versus Nakamura. Like, don't even
he's the
talk
ace.
about
He
it.
saved New Japan. But if you're talking 2003, I'd rather watch Masawa wrestle in Noah than I would watch a Tanahashi match.
Yeah.
Um, And it's a hard thing, right? Because you have a lot of legends in Japan,
Yeah.
and Okada, I think, overshadowed Tanahashi for the last 10 years,
Oh yeah. Okada was the face of New Japan. Like they needed him. But
right? And like the rise of Suzuki in his time, and like Nagata
mhm.
and the Breadman, and like all these people, it's just Kojima. There's yes, he's important. He's very important,
Yeah,
but
he
he's
is.
never gonna be the most important, and he wants to be
I
that.
think his importance is the fact that he carried New Japan in bleak times.
It is, but I think that also puts him in a position where he stands out more than he should.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely. Because there was no one really else out at the time.
No, and I mean, well, there was, because you could be watching Noah that had Kobashi and
Yeah.
Misawa, like Jun Nakayama. They
Yeah.
had at that point they had, I'm pretty sure Muto was there,
Muto was there. Blue Trunks there. What's his name there?
Nagata.
Nagata. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I mean, you're never gonna be Chono level famous. You're
No.
never gonna be Great
Muda
Muta
level.
level famous, but you
N-
are important.
Yeah. We're
And we
not
just
downplaying. Like, it's like going back. I hate to say this, but it's like John Cena. John Cena
it
is
is.
important to the company because John Cena carried the WWE through that ruthless aggression era, which was horrible.
It is. It's like the Undertaker. The Undertaker, it's you can't deny what his character's importance was or what his
Mhm.
importance was to WWE. He was never the best wrestler on the roster, but you can never put Undertaker in a place with like Hogan, because Hogan, what Hogan
Mhm.
did for wrestling is different. What The Rock and Stone Cold did, what Bret Hart
Hart
did,
did. Yeah.
like Bret Hart's difference than everything else. What he might not have been the number one guy in the world, but
But
to
he's the best.
wrestlers,
He's the
he was the
best.
best.
Yeah.
That's, to me, that's what matters. What other
Yeah.
wrestlers, when Chris Jericho says you're the best, that's who's the best. Not,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
Since we're on the Tanahashi topic, he tweeted out, he put on Instagram a photo the other day of him and Marufuji. Is Marufuji going to leave Noah?
I would
Because
watch the match,
they
but
lost Nakajima. He's now the champ in All Japan. I'd watch the match, but do I really want to see Marufuji against Tanahashi? I'd rather see like a Marufuji versus
yeah,
some
I agree.
Marufuji for. I'll take a Marufuji versus Sonata. I'll take a
I'll take
Marufuji versus
Marufuji
Naito.
against anyone, okay? But
Marufuji versus Goto.
Marufuji versus Kenta. Um, I want Tanahashi to fight Kiyomiya and put him over. I want that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
That's where we are now. Fight MJF, put MJF over, not what's happening now. I'm a little bit worried of where they go. The tag division sucks.
Yeah. Well, we talked about it earlier in the show where we could see Motor City Machine Guns joining up, and we could see the ABC. Could we see the ABC joining the War Dogs to strengthen their masses?
Then now we're talking Bullet Club, because I think one of those tag teams needs to split. You need more singles wrestlers in Bullet Club, and I
Yeah.
think it's time for Gabe Kidd to maybe wrestle on his own.
I think there's a picture right now. They recently re-signed him. So he's staying. So Gabe Kidd re-signs, and there's a picture of him holding the New Japan Strong tag belt. Could we see Gabe Kidd finally maybe he's the one who dethrones Eddie Kingston?
Yeah, okay, because that was actually their plan, was to have Gabe Kidd be the face of Strong,
Yeah,
and then it got sidetracked by a bunch of stuff.
injuries and whatnot. But I'd like that. Like, because Kidd's partner, which one's Kidd's partner? Coughlin?
Yeah,
Yeah, he hasn't re-signed yet. And I think he may be NXT bound.
and that's fine.
And Connors and Drilla both re-signed, so they're staying. And
Yeah.
Finley, there's talks that he hasn't re-signed yet, but Finley is staying. Provided what?
Then that's good. I'm happy for the future of Bullet Club at that point, because I like that. And then you still have Kenta
Yeah.
and Chase Owens,
Yeah.
which is helpful.
Yeah. So at least
Oh, and you have Ishimori. We never talk about Ishimori.
is he hurt or because he's the
I don't know.
KOPW? He's the KOPW champ, but we haven't seen him.
No, isn't Okan the KOPW champ?
No, he beat Ishimori. Remember in that weird match where they weren't.
I don't freaking remember.
I think it
Well,
is
so wait,
Ishimori.
no, Okan came out with the belt.
Did he? When did that happen? I
at
don't know.
the anniversary event on his
No,
match. He had the
when
belt.
did the Timmy's looking it up for it right now. The OPW Championship. Timmy, what do you got here for me? Current champion is Great O'Khan. He won it on January 20th. So he won it the week after he lost it to Ishimori.
Yeah, because he came out in his tag match with Jeff
That's
Cobb
right.
and he had the
In
belt.
the new at the new beginning, he won. At the new beginning. So okay. So we got that. So New Japan has a couple big shows coming up over the next couple weeks. First things first, we'll talk about the Sakura Genesis show. We'll quickly run down the card for you there. We got El Desperado and Taguchi versus TMDK. We got LIJ members Takahashi and Bushi versus the Bullet Club War Dogs, Finley and Gato. Five Guys against United Empire. I think this is where the next feud is going. Five Guys versus United Empire instead of House of Torture, because they're moving House of Torture to the main event. This one's interesting. You have a three-way tag team match for the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Champion Tag Champs, which is Maloney and Connors versus Kushida and Kevin Knight versus Catch 2-2. This is going to be it's going to be an insane match.
It's gonna be good, but now that you said catch 2-2, there's no chance Kevin Knight and
Kushida are winning.
Kushida are winning.
I don't think it would. I think War
Wait,
Dogs are
no,
going to.
Connors is not champion, right? Catch 2-2 are the champions.
No, Connors War Dogs are champs, so they're
When the fuck
retaining.
did they win the belt back?
At New Beginning, the
How
first
did
one.
what?
Was
Because
it?
at Wrestle Kingdom, the other guys won, right?
Yeah, they won the belts at Wrestle Kingdom. They won it. Did they lose it at Dash or did they? Well,
It doesn't matter. We don't have to get
yeah,
into that. We know who's the champions.
yeah, and they're probably gonna retain. I think they're gonna retain. But Timmy's feeding the information to me right now. They won it. Yeah, road at a house show, Road to New Beginning. Not even at the New Beginning show.
That's so silly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This
So
is the match. Next match is the one I'm worried about. What are you gonna say about this one? Go ahead. Sorry.
tell me,
No, the next match I'm worried about: Chase Owens and Kenta versus Bishamon for the belts.
Chase Owens and Kenta are gonna win.
I don't think so.
I think so. I think this is where you're gonna get either in the last match or in this match or in both matches. We're gonna get the introduction of one or two new Bullet Club people, or Fale is gonna come back and interfere in the match.
Okay. Okay. We'll see. We'll see. This one's going to be a great match. Finally, Show versus Yo for the Junior Heavyweight Championship.
Yeah, that's what I want.
And we're getting Moxley coming back. Mox and Shooter against Ren Narita and Jack Perry.
Oh, that's cute.
Evil versus Shingo for the Never Openweight, which we were talking about it in the last episode.
You can't have Shingo win.
No.
I know I want it, but you can't.
And you have Naito versus Yota Tsuji, the winner of the New Japan Cup for the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship.
Naito has to win. You can
Yeah,
if you're gonna do the Suji story, you can have him win it at Dominion, but at Sakura, Naito needs to show him that he's the boss.
Yeah. And then they also have the Windy City Riot. It's in Chicago, and one of the matches is Hiromu Takahashi versus Mustafa Ali. Take my money now.
That's a put over.
Yep. Naito versus Moxley. Non-title match.
Oh, Naito wins.
Yeah. 8-man tag, Eddie Kingston versus 3 TBAs versus Gabe Kidd and 3 TBAs. So this is setting up Gabe Kidd at
Yeah,
Resurgence.
for sure. There you
Eddie
go.
Kingston.
We already know now.
So we have match 3, Umino versus Jack Perry. We have Nemeth versus Ishii.
Yeah.
And then we have Guerrillas of Destiny defending their strong openweight tag team championships against a reunited OG TMDK and Mikey Nichols and Shane Haste.
And they're gonna win.
Versus two other teams to be named later.
This is the fall of GOD.
Yeah. Because from what I hear, Phantasmo's contract's up too. Soon. So
And we know he wants to go to AEW. We already know that.
Yeah. Because he was received so well when he went last year. But and that's Japan for you guys right now. We'll talk a little bit more in terms of Japan in terms of like so they've improved now. What do you think is in store now for G1 and the best of the Super Juniors moving forward? Who do you have right now in the best of the Super Juniors that you can throw in there?
I don't know.
Because last year was a little wild with Master Wato winning.
Maybe Waddle wins again, and this is the story arc, and
Okay.
that's why they took the title off Desperado.
Yeah. Would Narita be considered a junior?
Or
Mm-hmm.
no, I don't know if they are because they wrestled in the heavyweight tag
Yeah,
division.
tag division.
Um, or you have Show beat
Yo.
Yo, and
And
then
then
Yo
Yo,
has to win the whole tournament to fight him again.
I will take that one. Because we need to do something with Yo.
That
That
would
would
be
make
excellent.
sense. Yeah, that would make sense. But other than that, that's all the news we have for you this month. Anything that you want to add before we head out?
No, because this video is probably very long.
Probably. So with that out of the way, guys, thanks again for joining us. Go on and check out RLG Cast. Like I said, a whole bunch of trailers dropped last week. I'm sure the video will be out by the time this airs. So go on and check where we break down and talk about all the trailers that have come out. A lot of stuff we're looking forward. So make sure you subscribe to this channel, ring that little bell for notifications for all your wrestling news. Make sure you tune in when you know when that state is dropping. So with that out of the way, guys, in the words of Kenny Omega, goodbye and good night.